All right, I want to talk about website folder structure. This is the structure of our folders and files that are put on our web server for delivery to people. Okay. We haven't talked about in detail about this, but the place where we put our index file, that very base directory, is called the root directory. That's always considered the root of our website. Our index file, index.html, needs to be in that root folder. We can put all of our index files or all of our HTML files in there if we want to. We can also put all of our image files. We can also put all of our JavaScript files, all of our PHP files. But that soon becomes a big jumble of files laying all over the place. So what we usually do when we get more than a single page website is we start organizing things into folders. So we'll have a root folder, but we'll also have another folder inside of the root for our images folder. And we put all our images in our images folder. And then we can have, for example, service for our service page, about folder for our about page. If we have script files later, we'll put them in our JavaScript folder. But we don't just stick everything in root. We try to organize it. Our style sheets can all go in our styles folder. But that creates a little more coding that we have to do to make sure that when our index file is loaded into the browser, it also knows where to find the images and the style sheets and the things that we need to format it. So I want to take a look. Let's look at this first, and then we'll look at the example on the left. So here's some examples. We've already talked about absolute URLs before. So we have our protocol, server name, domain, and then the index file we're looking for. And remember, if we don't specify the file, almost all servers are set up to look for index.html. Not every server, but most of them anymore are. Here's another example, full URL, the full web address, and then it says look in the books folder, inside a PHP folder in there, and then find the table of contents, toc.html file. So we can use these full paths if we want, but for within our own website, we really don't want to type all that out and have it cluttering up our code. If we're not going to another server somewhere on the internet, we usually use one of these methods down here. So a root relative path is what we've probably done so far. We link to a folder. So from our root, where our index is, we can say, hey, link to the login.html file. That's assuming that login.html is in the same directory with our index file. Okay? Or the page that's linking to it anyway. It may not be our index file. It could be any file. If we just name another file, it assumes it's in the same directory. However, here's a path from our root where we're working that says look in the images folder. So it says /images/ so look in the images folder and get the logo.gif file for the graphic. This is an example of a document relative path that navigates down. It went down into, if you look at it, it went down into the images folder to find this logo.gif. Okay. Here's another example. Look in the books folder. It's kind of the same example we saw here, except without the first part of the URL on it. Hey, from where you're at now, telling the browser from where you're at now on this index file, look in the books folder, inside the PHP folder, and get the overview.html file. Okay, so we're navigating down. Now, sometimes we need to navigate up. So let's say that I have a page of my books section open. Okay, and I want to tell it to open the index file in my root folder. Okay, I can't just say index.html because it's going to look in the books folder again. I need to tell it go up one level and look for the file there. And that's what this code is. The two dots say go up one level and then grab the index.html file. Also, if I'm in the books folder and I need an image, I can't say /image because there's no image folder under books. Okay, I have to say go up one level and then go down and look in the images folder for this file. So here it is. Go up one level, ... then look in the images folder and grab the logo.gif file. So let's look at this example over here. Mike Murach and Associates, and then we have a little image there. Here's the source code for that, and this says look in the images folder and grab that Murach logo.gif. We saw the same thing. Give me a chance to open it. I'm going to pause for a second. We saw the same thing here with our favicon. We look at the source code for this page. We can see we had a link to the shortcut icon. It's in our images folder. So look in the images folder and find favicon.icon. Favicon always needs to have that name, favicon.ico. Okay, so look in the images folder, find it. So organize your files. And part of your homework this week is going to be to use some files that are already organized, but you have to write the code to get to the right folder to grab images and things for your for the web page that you're going to be doing. Here's some more examples with links. If we want to link to a page, we might need to tell it to go up one level, then look in the company folder and grab the services.html file. Okay. This is a link to a page in a subfolder of the parent. So let's go back here. We're going up, then going to company and services. So we might be, we don't have that example here. We might be telling it to go up and then look in the service folder. That's an example of that for a link. So we can use that for links to HTML files. We can also use the paths to images. But if we need to go to another website, we need to use that full URL. And here's an example of those. I believe we're going to stop there. I think that's enough. Yeah, that's enough of the information you need to do this week's assignment. So this week's assignment will be to clone a website that I've already given you. You're going to clone it and you're going to make the edits. You're going to create the page using the files and the information that was given to you, as opposed to what you've done in the past where I kind of freeform let you, hey, make a website about you. This website, and you won't publish this to the web, you'll just push it back to the repo for me to grade. This website will be structured. I want you to do the exact specific thing that it tells you to do in the directions.